Hello everyone, Peter Salehi from Alexoming.
And I'm Parisa Mardiha.
Perfect, so here we are today at one of our finished projects in Woodland Hills, and we're going to talk to you about what happened in between. How did we find this project and what did we do, how long did it take, and all of those. So we have a couple of questions that people ask us, and Parisa is going to read those so we can go through them together.
So we posted the video of this project once it was done without the staging, and we got a lot of interest and people wanted to see how the process was, how did we get started. So I have the list of the questions here. I'm going to ask them from Peter so he can walk us through this process. So the first question we got is, how did you get started in construction, and was this your first project?
Okay, so I've been in construction for the past 18 to 20 years. This came from a family background. My dad used to be a builder, and that's how I got into construction myself. I'm a licensed contractor with A and B license, working in LA and California. We mostly focus in Los Angeles and San Fernando Valley area. So we do a ton of projects for our customers and our clients, and we typically do about 1 to 3 projects for ourselves in a year. If this was my first project, no. I started my own projects back in 2000 and I want to say about 14 or 15, the very first one, and ever since then we do about 1 to 3 projects a year.
So the next question is, what was the inspiration behind this project and how was the whole process?
So the inspiration was I wanted to do something in Woodland Hills. We have, we know Woodland Hills is a very upcoming area. There's been a lot of changes in Woodland Hills in the past few years that I know about, and we figure why not do a project here. So I talked to a couple of agents that I know and a couple of people that they have off market and deals, under the MLS area basically. So they were able to find this for me. So one of the agents that I worked with, he used to send me deals all the time, and for the past 6-7 months he was sending me deals, and finally we came across this one. One of the things that I really liked about it, because this was the original owner. So they had the house since 1960s, and I like that idea because nobody has done anything to it, and it was in a very good condition. So I figure we can do a lot of updates into it and make it up to today's standard with all the technology and all the new material that is out there, and that's what I really liked about this home.
Next question is, how did you fund this project?
So there are multiple ways to go with it. This particular one, I used the money from the bank. Obviously, I did put some money from myself. However, I obtained a loan on top of it. And with that loan, I was able to, pay for all the construction and, basically all the costs that is involved with it, like the permitting, the construction cost, and everything that comes with it.
I think what's also important to note is that the construction loans are not something easy that everybody can get. One of the requirements is having the license, having the experience, and the reason that we were able to lock this loan for this project is because Peter has the experience. He is a licensed contractor. He's done a lot of the projects, so that is definitely one thing that really helps with the funding of these projects to get these construction specific loans. So the next question is, what was the design process like?
So the design process, as you know, we have a team in my own office that we worked with, so they were able to help us a lot. However, I did also brought a couple of the designers that I work with in my other projects, and I brought a couple of agents that I work with, so I can get an idea from them to make sure, as far as the real estate point of it, what is the best solution, and as far as the colors and everything that goes with it, I brought my designer friends to help me out, and most of it was done in-house throughout my own company and the people that I work with very closely.
I think another thing that is important to point out is it's very important to walk the property multiple times before you start demoing anything. You want to walk it every time with different people to see what they think, what the best flow is. The good thing about this house was the floor plan was good. Obviously some things we changed them, and most of the finishes and the colors and everything that you see are our own ideas. However, like Peter mentioned, we do bring other people because you don't want to be tunnel vision when it comes to your projects and just stick to one thing and do it. What might work for us may not work for the rest of the people. And that's why it's important to bring real estate agents, bring designers, bring family members even, and just ask them, if this was your home, how would you want the flow to be? Where would you want the rooms to be? How would you want the colors to be? And this is what can help you sell the house quicker or get it to sit on the market. It's very important to, while be confident in your own taste and choices, you have to listen to the market and see what people actually and the end user wants, and then implement that with your own taste in the project.
Yes, that's a very important point. And also, it's very important to take your time. It is very important when you're remodeling projects that to be fast and, you know, to move forward. However, sometimes you need to kind of slow down, walk the project. You know, I used to come here in the mornings or in the afternoons after my work and just simply walk around, get a feel of the backyard, get a feel of the master bedroom, how I would feel about it if this was my bedroom, how would I like it set up. So those things will take time, and you got to do it multiple times to make sure you master it. So you have the perfect size for your, you know, shower area, you have the perfect size for your vanity size, or even the kitchen. Everything should be thought about when you're, you know, if you're going to be cooking in this kitchen, what is the best way for you to, you know, move around it.
Another thing that's very important is, once you start a project, if the property doesn't have its original plans or a floor plan, it's very important to get a floor plan for yourself going. We always draw our own floor plan if the property doesn't come with it, and then we just look at it a lot, play around with it, remove the walls, draw walls, just to see what the best project is, the best approach is. It's very exciting to start a project and start demoing things like you see on TV and get excited about it. The worst thing you can do is demo things and then realize that you made a mistake and now you have to build it back up. That's why it's very important, like Peter mentioned, to take your time, think about it, and visualize, if I remove this wall, what's going to happen to the rest of the property and to the rest of the house, because you also don't want to end up with just this really big room that has no form or function. So it's important to take your time and just really pay attention to what you're doing, but don't take too much time, because that can hurt you as well in these projects. You have to be quick, but take your time.
Very well.
So our next question is, how long does a project like this take?
A standard project like this usually takes about, I want to say, easily 3 to 4 months, depending on what city you're working in, what kind of permit you're going to need. If you're gonna, you know, need a structure details for the engineering that goes with it. So all of those take counts, and also city inspections, because we can never, you know exactly if the city is going to be allowing us to get inspection. Sometimes there might be delays because of rain. There might be delays because the city is closed or there's holidays. This particular project, we were able to do the whole project in about 2 months. And one of the reasons we did it in such a timely manner, it was because of the management. You know, in the process of being in escrow, the 10-15 days that we were in escrow, I was able to come in here every day with my crews to set them up and work on the vision that we had. So the moment we got the keys, we were able to start. Another thing that happened is that I had multiple crews working at the same time. So we had our plumber, we had our electrician, we had our HVAC guy. Everybody work at the same time to make sure that we can deliver. Also, you know, we make sure about the quality and all of those, but that comes with, you know, somebody who knows the details, someone who has got really good eyes to make sure if the drywall is not, you know, if it's got a little tilt, or if the flooring is not right, or, you know, as far as all the code enforcement, let's say especially on plumbing and electric, you want to make sure the people that you have, they're all licensed, bonded as well. So that way they do the right thing, you don't get in trouble, everybody, you know, is covered. And make sure that is, again, up to codes. That's the most important thing that I make sure. That's part of my job, coming as a, I don't want to say an inspector, however, as somebody that checks quality, checks budget, checks the timeline, and make sure that all of those people are able to work together at the same time. Because as you know, when you put a couple of different people together, a lot of times, a lot of things might happen. However, you got to make sure you manage them very well. You know, as far as delivery time for them, as far as who's gonna park where, what's gonna happen, so that way you have a smooth transaction just like this that we were able to finish in exactly under 2 months.
Yeah, so it's important to have a vision when you are going into a project like this. Like Peter said, that once you are in escrow, you know kind of what you want to do, so you can get started on ordering your materials. But also something like this might seem very easy. People might think, oh, it's just a wall, white walls, just a simple kitchen. Yes, in a photo or a video, it might seem very simple. However, there is so much that goes into something like even drywall. It takes a lot of time, and that's why, since Peter is a contractor, this process is we have all of these steps covered. We can quality control, we have our own crews who know what to do, and we know exactly the steps that are needed. We know the process for permitting, inspection, all of those things. If you are looking into getting into investing into properties and remodeling them, and you don't have the construction process experience, the worst thing you can do for yourself is to just go into it yourself without any help, thinking you can get it all figured out in the process. It is a learning process, but it's not the classroom for you to sit in it and start learning, because you are investing your money. So in a situation like that, it's important to hire a contractor who can help you the same way that we do. We have clients who are investors, but they don't have the construction experience, so they bring us as their contractor and we do the job for them. We do the management, because there is so much that goes into your budgeting, into your timelines. Those are things that are very important, that you have to have them, and that's why it's important to have the right team to help you get to the finish line. So the next question is, how do you pick your finish materials, and when is the best time to start ordering these?
Perfect. So as I mentioned before, usually I bring a couple of designers who can help me out, and I have, because I see a lot of high-end project myself throughout the day from my clients, I have a pretty good eyes of picking up materials and knowing where to get them. But usually I like to order materials early on, so that way you make sure they have everything in stock, especially that comes with any kind of a tile work, all of your interior and exterior doors, all of your vanities, sink, all of your faucet for the showers and bathroom. Those will take time, especially if you're looking for something custom. They may take about a month to month and a half, so it's very important to order ahead and make sure that you have everything. And again, one of the best things that I always recommend people is to go to open houses and check them out, so that way you get an idea of what's coming up in the neighborhood, who is doing what, and what quality they're using, so that way when you do your own project, you're going to be ahead of the game. It's very important to to see, let's say if somebody is doing tile work in their bathrooms, it's very important to know that tile work is 100% level, it looks good, it's because sometimes you would go see something and it just quality wise it's, I want to say 0%. So you want to make sure everything that is surrounding you, what's going on, so that way you can order your material better for them and have it ready.
Yes, and right now the way the market is, especially in LA, there are a lot of options for buyers. Buyers have access to Zillow. They do see all of these different home improvement shows, so they kind of are more knowledgeable than before, and that's why it's important to really focus on your finished materials. What we did in this project is we went with natural stone, we went with custom doors, we ordered custom door handles, things like that. These are the things that the homeowners really do notice when they are getting a home that is completely remodeled, and that's what can help sell your house, because you don't want to sacrifice your quality over a price, or over things that may be cheaper that you can get from Home Depot, because in the long run that is going to hurt you. What we do in all of our projects is every project is a custom project, regardless of the size or the price of the project. We use the best quality finishes, and that's what we offer to people that buy our homes, which gets me into the next question. With a home like this that's been remodeled completely, how long do you think the wear and tear is? When is the next time that they might need to update it or fix anything in it?
Okay. So depending on, obviously the wear and tear, depending on the user. However, everything that we do, we give it a 1-year warranty and guarantee from our team. and anything that is purchased, let's say your hardwares, let's say your HVAC and all of those, they also have manufacturer warranty. But anything from us is about a year. However, if you have kids and they're, holding on into all of your kitchen drawers and jumping up and down out of them, anything you put in there, they're gonna damage. So it's very important how to use this stuff. When we do these projects, I do a walkthrough with the new homeowner or myself always before selling it, and making sure that everything is 100%. We test everything to make sure that it's working, make sure that there's no scratches, make sure the stove is working, the faucet is working, the showers are working, and all of those. And we show them things, and I tell them how you should be using them. Because let's say, for instance, if you're using natural stone and if you don't know how to clean it with what product, you might be changing the color of that natural stone within a couple of weeks of use, so it doesn't even last a month or two, which that has happened to us. So that way I learned to kind of give them a owner manual of what's going on in this home, because everything is smart. The kitchen and the bathrooms also, again, like if you're using gold faucet, gold valves, you don't want to have bleach on top of it the next day, because it will change the color. So something very simple, but it may make the wear and tear come very fast. So it's important to know and to tell the new homeowner how to clean this home, what to do with it, so that way you don't run into any issues down the line.
Yes, that's a very good point, especially when you are using some of the higher end materials. It's very important to let the owners know how to, like Peter said, maintain them. But generally with a home like this, where everything is completely remodeled, as long as it is being taken care of properly and not abused, a home like this will not have any issues for years to come. Everything is brand new, so home ownership is very important. It's very important to maintain your home. It's like a child. You have to take care of it. You have to constantly take care of it so that it doesn't start having issues. But something like this that's been completely remodeled with high-end quality is good to go for years.
I want to say, home like this that is just finished and you have high quality, it should last you 7 to 10 years easily. Before making any changes or before anything that goes, as long as wear and tear. But again, everything is user manual.
So the next question is, do you only remodel the interiors, or do you take on projects that need work in the exterior of the home too?
So we do both. I actually do both. This particular project that we're in, we did change a lot of things in the front. So we did a brand new driveway, we did the garage door. There used to be a plant in the front that we removed, and we were able to open it up. So change the colors, new windows, new doors, all of those. Yes, we do take on projects at any scales and whatever the scope of work might be, basically.
Yes, and I think usually when you are updating the interior of the home, you kind of have to also update the exterior so that everything goes together and you can maintain it. And while the driveway, for example, might look fine, there's always something to do it better so that it goes better with the house. You have to think about, is a family going to live here? Will they need more parking spaces? Do they need grass? Things like that. And landscaping, which is one of the things that we did extensively in this project, is very important in my opinion. It really makes or breaks your project. Over here we did new grass, we did ficus, we did an olive tree, just so that it creates that very zen exterior for the home too. So not only the interior is nice and redone, but also the exterior is something to look at and really enjoy.
Very well.
And our last question is, how is the market right now, and when is a good time to buy and sell as investment?
So I always say it's always a good market. You can't really time the market. If anybody, or if I knew at least that, when is the market good, that would have been great, but you never can tell the market what it is. So I always say it's a good time to buy. It's important to consider interest rates and home prices and all of those. However, if this is your main line of business, like us, that we simply just do construction, we have to work at any given time, no matter what the interest rate. If we buy expensive, we'll sell expensive. If we buy cheap, we'll sell cheap. But that's basically, we just got to continue working. So it's always a good time to get into the market. It's kind of like surf, riding a surf. You want to get in the water, and if you have high surf, low surf, you just play with the water and go along. And I think right now it's one of the best times, because especially in this neighborhood, Woodland Hills, it's going very well. And I think you can always, in the history that at least I knew, real estate has been the greatest game, and it's one of the main things that you can make money out of.